All right, so remember the chain letter? You know, you receive something in the mail, you add to it, you pass it along. An Ottawa production company is turning that concept into a movie and calling on aspiring filmmakers in the city to add their artistic stamp to the project. It's called the Treepot Cliffhanger because a production house called Treepot Media is behind the project. Jith Paul, you may remember, a filmmaker and founder of Treepot, is back in studio with me now. Hello there.
Hi.
All right, so explain to me the Cliffhanger challenge. How does it work?
Well, we're going to make a feature film over the course of 1 year with 6 filmmakers. So each filmmaker will have a chapter, and they have 2 months to make that chapter. And the catch is that chapter 2 has to follow the story set about by chapter 1, and so on. So do the actors stay the same then? No.
They continue into...
Each filmmaker will have complete creative control over their chapter.
Okay.
And the only thing is that they have to make it fit within the greater concept of a feature film, so we can string all 6 together and play them together as a feature film.
So there does have to be an overarching thing, but you figure that part out.
Yep.
It's not. Nobody has to... So how much then do I have to tie in?
Oh, no, I'm
B
sorry. Maybe I misspoke.
Okay.
The actual filmmaker, it is part of the challenge to actually continue the story.
Okay.
So the writing part of it is also part of the challenge. So the first filmmaker obviously will have the most freedom in that regard.
Yes.
They set the pace.
That's the part to aim for.
Right. But it would be kind of nice if each chapter had a different genre. So, you know, you could have like a film noir chapter or maybe even an animation chapter. I don't know. That's completely up to the filmmakers to kind of decide.
But what happens, I guess, if, for instance, because this is always the problem, for instance, with improvisational theater, when you have somebody who's creating something, there's sometimes people say, yeah, I don't really want to continue that story, and they maybe have some sort of tentative thread to the first one. Do you want the same characters from part A to somehow be in part B?
It would be nice, but I'm not going to stipulate that. I'm lucky to have a couple of groups from locally helping to kind of support the filmmakers in terms of writing. There's the writer's room and the script writing program at Algonquin College. So they've kind of said they're on board to help kind of craft in terms of writing and script. And, you know, this is a fun collaborative project. And you know, if you, as a filmmaker, you want to kill off all the characters at the end of your chapter, you can do that. And that would be a good cliffhanger, but you have to kind of recover from that in the next chapter.
And so how do you select the filmmakers?
There's a 3-person jury, and filmmakers submit a 2-minute audition. Where they introduce themselves, talk about their passion for movies, and show us some clips from their recent projects. Okay,
and so then based on that, they don't have to make any kind of pitch about what they would do with their section of the film. You just have to like them as filmmakers.
The jury will select the 6. Right.
So what do you think the artistic merit is for using sort of the chain letter as a template for a movie?
There are a lot of local contests that pit filmmakers against each other in terms of coming up with something in 3 days or a month. There's the Digi-60 challenge where you get 60 days to make a movie.
Yes.
And we've kind of proved that we're really good at the short film genre. So, you know, a feature is kind of intimidating to kind of take on all by yourself. So this is kind of a step in that direction where, you know, you're responsible for only one chapter. So it is kind of like several of those 60-day challenges put together.
Have you done any of this kind of collaboration before yourself?
I had a movie in the recent Digi-60 Film Festival called Algebra.
But I'm wondering, it's one thing to have the time challenge, but where you have to work off what somebody else has done.
No, I haven't. It would be kind of interesting to see how this folds out, and I'm looking forward to seeing the auditions too.
So you mentioned the writing help,
yes,
for filmmakers.
Yep.
What prowess then do they need to showcase for you? If it's not necessarily, they won't necessarily be writing their own scripts.
No, but they could be coming up with the concept. So if they prove through their work that, you know, first they have to prove that they can deliver on it, because you wouldn't want a feature film where one section isn't there. So if they can prove that they can actually do it, that would help. And just talk about your passion, and that's what the judges would like to see.
Do you have a sense of what kind of filmmakers you want to see in this?
All kinds. I'd like to see some students as well, and I'm lucky enough to have sponsors, local rental houses, and co-ops like Saw Video. So Parktown Affinity Productions, they're sponsoring the festival, as well as Kublacom Pictures, providing gear rental vouchers and, you know, edit suite rentals and even cash to, you know, pay for props and costumes and things like that. So this should be a really fun project to get into over the course of a year.
When you were kicking around the idea, you mentioned the idea that maybe all the characters will be bumped off between Part A and Part B, or Part B and Part C. Are there other things you kind of hope to see happen over the course of this?
No, the sky's the limit. And just looking, I would love to have, a chapter that's poetry, or, there's no rules other than the fact that it has to string together as a complete feature film at the end.
All right. And you'll be in charge of that.
Yeah.
The final thread. Good luck with what may happen. Jith Fall is a filmmaker and founder of Treepot Media. The deadline for entries for the Cliffhanger project is this Friday. For more information on how to send in your pitch, you can go to our website for the link, cbc.ca/allinaday.